I made a mistake. Hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. In this video, I'm going to be addressing my last video where I talked about the Power Rangers Ninja Kids fan project that released its first trailer in regards to the AI backlash, both in regards to the backlash for the trailer and the backlash to me for it. So I want to set the stage first of how I found out about and watched the trailer, because the main sticking point is that because I talked about it and said stuff like it's harmless or whatever, that I'm supporting AI or whatever, and the general consensus in the comments was just basically this. Consensus in the comments about AI was basically this. And because I talked about the discourse with the Sentai purists, that I was like dismissing it as the Sentai purists are the only ones mad. Now let me set the stage of why all that happened. So let's go back to, I believe it was Saturday morning, right? I had no plans of making a video that day. I had all of the week's videos set because I had plans Saturday afternoon through the evening, and I was hoping for a chill Saturday morning, getting to play some ZA because I'd only gotten to start my file really 45 minutes, so I was hoping to dig in. And then unfortunately my day was ruined by some Toku news, and the way I found out about it actually had nothing to do with Power Rangers. Like, I didn't see Power Rangers trending or see the trailer on my YouTube. I opened up Twitter, and in the For You trending was Super Sentai. And sometimes when Sentai or Rider is trending, I'll click on it because that means some scans have dropped or something, or movie news or something. And I was like, oh, there's maybe some Go Juju news or whatever. And I clicked on it, and the first wave of reactions was just basically 90% quote tweets with the trailer. And I'm like, okay, there's the trailer. And then I didn't read every single one of them. There's like, I don't know what filled up the page, 7, 9 of them. But most of them were, Power Rangers is so washed, that's why we love Sentai, or thank God we have Go Juju, or Power Rangers doesn't need Super Sentai, pff, go watch Go Juju. And I clicked out of there. Because I was tired of that shit. I was tired of the Super Sentai purist crap. You know, we just got done with all those comments with the discussion about does Power Rangers need Sentai. I was so tired of seeing that, so I did not look into any of the discourse further. I didn't want to ruin my morning by scrolling and seeing what I assumed was going to be those same reactions. So I just went to the trailer, watched it once, and then I scanned it a second time, just getting the images I wanted, thinking about what I wanted to talk about, you know, the weird businessman guy, whatever. And I did not notice it was AI. I noticed they were kind of crappy effects because it was expected, but that wasn't even on my mind. What was on my mind was, I want to get this done quickly so I can go play Pokemon. So that's why I didn't even talk about AI, because I had no idea. Maybe I would have noticed if I would have looked into it more. There's been some AI things where things have used AI effects where I haven't noticed it before. I usually notice it more when I see those things on Twitter where people are like, here's what the real Superman should be, and it's like an AI rendering of Zack Snyder's Justice League 2, or people did AI scenes of Tony Stark's Doom unmasking himself at the end of Fantastic Four, and it's very clearly AI because it's got this very, very uncanny valley feel to it. And I'm not for that. I don't want to see a future where movies are made by AI, whether it's major effects done or certainly not whole movies made with AI. Like, I've heard several stories when I have paid attention to it about that there's people that want to make streaming services where basically you put in a prompt and you get to make an AI movie or show. I'm like, no, I don't want to see a future with that. So I'm not in favor of AI in regards to that, but I'm not against AI, like, period, meaning like I'm not tackling people that are using Siri and being like, you should be canceled, because AI can be used in other situations, and I'm hesitant to talk about this because I don't dive into political stuff at all on this channel. Thankfully, we were safe for a long time from any political discourse before this, and then before, you know, all the people came in with Power Rangers is woke now, DEI. It's here and it's not visiting anymore. But this was supposed to be an escape, but I haven't looked into everything in the facets in which it can be harmful. I know certain facets in which it can be harmful, such as, you know, stealing jobs. I certainly don't want to steal jobs, unless every time it steals a person's job, they get to be set up for life. Like, oh, they take your factory job, then just pay that person off for life and they can just go vacationing for the rest of their life. But I don't want to see it take people's jobs or, you know, take over art. But, you know, obviously it's not going to go anywhere in regards to like digital assistants and stuff like that. And I do think, I want to be careful the way I say this, that people need to calm down. I'm not saying not voice your opinion, but sometimes people overreact. I've seen multiple times on Twitter where someone tried to cancel someone over posting AI art, and then it was like, no, this was actual art. And then they freaked out and were like ready to end this person's life. Or like there was discourse last year with the movie Late Night with the Devil, because there was one owl logo image that was done in AI, and people like boycott the movie. Like, I watched the movie. I wasn't going to boycott the movie over something small. Like, if they had found out like, oh, the whole movie was rendered in AI and they're not even real actors, probably wouldn't have watched it. But like one image, you know, it's a slippery slope. But I think that there's so many people that worked on that movie to boycott it, and you know, sometimes life's so stressful. that when you want to watch a movie, I don't have time to be like, all right, was there an AI poster in here? Did this actor say something on Twitter 30 years ago? Like, I just want to watch the movie. Like, I don't have time to do the research on it. But, like, that's a good example of, like, you know, that was pretty small potatoes. Maybe they shouldn't have done it, but, like, guys, come on. Like, the energy people have when they find out, like, there was an AI poster in the back is, like, that scene from Parks and Rec where she's like, if anyone that touched refined sugar touched that chair, if anyone that ate refined sugar touched that chair, then I protest this whole thing. So, yeah, I'm against it. I just think people need to take a minute and calibrate their reactions to things. Very heavy reactions to mine, for I didn't even know about it. So, as far as this project goes, I guess pulled down the trailer. So I don't know if that means they're gonna I don't know if they could take it out of there. Maybe are they gonna try to fix it and not have AI in the final product? Because I know a lot of the fans are boycotting it because of that. I guess I probably won't cover it now unless they change it. I'll be curious to see. I don't know if they have any other statements. I probably should look that up before I recorded this. But I know that they pulled it down because some people were like, where's the trailer? I'm like, it's on YouTube, guys. Just use Google. Everyone's always asking me where stuff is. I'm like, guys, if you just use Google, the answer's right there. But this kid, oh, it's not there because they pulled it down. So I don't know. I do think it's unfortunate. I think this would be less of a big deal if it was, you know, just a fan project that wasn't supported by Hasbro, because there's stuff like that on YouTube all the time. You know, sometimes I'll be like, oh, I want to rewatch the scene from Spider-Man, and I'll see a bunch of shorts like recommended to me that are like weird AI shorts with like CG or AI CG Tobey Maguire fighting Henry Cavill or something. Like, what the hell is this? And like weird fake thumbnails like Spider-Man 4, and it's a weird like AI Tobey Maguire with a beard. So if it was one of those, which are not great, but I'm saying like if it was one of those that you just accidentally find, it wouldn't be a big deal. It's the fact that it's, you know, being supported by Hasbro, and also they use Toku J's suits. Like, it's a shame that's the first time we get to see those in live action. Although I guess maybe some people have cosplayed with them. I don't know. But you know what I mean. That's definitely a shame. It would be more of a shame if, you know, I would definitely be more upset about it if that was the real show. Like if they were using AI for the new reboot, or they entirely generated the thing in AI. So it is unfortunate, but I wanted to clarify that it really is truly just ignorance. And my official statement is as follows. In all seriousness, no, that's my thoughts on it. Now, last little part of the video I wanted to address, and you can click off if that's all you wanted to hear about, was there was stuff coming up in that video, comments, that comes up in all my videos where I talk about Power Rangers and stuff, of like, oh, he's a shill, apologist, consumer. If I was a shill, I'd be doing way better in views. And you know how easy it would be for me to make videos rage baiting and being like, Hasbro's out to get you and they're trying to kill you and Power Rangers. Those type of videos can blow up, rage farming, you know? That's why I'm always just trying to keep it real with my opinion. And when it comes to this stuff, I'm never trying to defend Hasbro and Disney wholesale. I'm just at times trying to understand their decisions. Like when it comes to the MMPR always thing. I don't 100% agree with it. I think it can do damage, but I can totally see why they want to do it. I wish people would just understand that. I'm not saying like, well, you shouldn't attack them for that. I'm just saying, I get it. You know, it's kind of like if somebody goes back to a job they hated because they need the money so they can pay rent. You're like, well, that's made you miserable, but I get it. That's maybe not a great example, but you know what I mean. And my whole thing is that I have a hard time being on the fan side, because that's the thing that more so ruins the experience for me with fandom, or the franchises I enjoy, period. Because, walk with me here, this quote sums it up perfectly, at least in my crazy head. That quote from The Office when Michael Scott says, you expect to get screwed by your company, but you don't expect to get screwed by your girlfriend. Because when it comes to the franchises I enjoy, I'm so used to the owners or the showrunners screwing things up, things going on hiatus, getting canceled, that it's not that I'm not upset when it happens, but it's like not surprising. Like, I'm disappointed what's gone down with Doctor Who, but it's not surprising. And that's another situation where I see it from both sides. Like, I think Disney's major mistake with Doctor Who, I think in general, I think it was just the wrong home for it. I think Netflix maybe would have been better. I think that's just because Netflix was like where I discovered Doctor Who, and like when I got into it, everyone was watching Tennant's era on there. Anyway, this isn't about Doctor Who, but I think their major mistake was not letting them know if they were going to renew or not. Like, could you not just maybe even say it secretly? Like, so that Shudigawa would know, like, I have to leave, or, oh, I can book these other projects and then come back, you know, I think that was their major mistake in regards to that. But I also understand why it was disappointing to them, because they spent a lot of money and it didn't work out the way they wanted. So I'm just saying I can see it from both sides. I'm not saying, oh, you know, I support Disney for canceling it, but it's, if you look at it like a business, you know, it's like if a restaurant spends all this money on a new dish and no one buys it, they just wasted all that money on ingredients. So I'm just trying to see like the logic behind it. But my long-winded point is with that is I'm expecting disappointment from the companies and stuff like that. So when that happens and we're on hiatus, or show's canceled, or a plot line goes weird, like we decide to make Poppy the Doctor's daughter in a weird way, I'm expecting it. But for me, what I did not expect years ago when I got into fandom, especially this channel, but any other fandom, is how much the fans ruin the experience with their constant bratty whining. Nothing's ever right. It's us against them. The victim complex. That's why I'm more often than not rather be like, oh, you know, I understand why they're doing this, than join the mob of people. And there are good people in the fandom with reasonable points, but the point is it so often gets drowned out, especially on my channel, by non-problems. Like, I think the Lightning Collection is a big example of that. So many valid complaints, but there was also so many people making something out of nothing and complaining about, like, oh, they didn't do the season I wanted, you know, this triangle is a slightly different color. It's like it gets drowned out by that. And for me, that ruins the experience far more than the corporations. Not that I'm on their side, but it's like I'm expecting that to happen. But I didn't expect something you would think would be a safe haven. Like when Doctor Who or Power Rangers on hiatus, you're like, oh, then just me and, you know, the fandom will enjoy the seasons that are already out and wait to see what comes next. But all it is discourse about, like, this sucked and that sucked. And it seems like no one is willing to give anything a shot anymore. Like, it's not about don't criticize, but I feel like all fandoms do is criticize anything that's ever announced for any franchise. Before you even get to see a second of it, it's hated. And even when it is liked, eventually they will hate you, and it's a turnaround on it. Like Deadpool and Wolverine being one of the most recent ones. Like, now we hate it now. Again, I'm not saying don't criticize, because how boring would it be if we just loved everything? But it's like, man, I've never seen such a bigger groupthink of closed-minded people, and that's why I always come across as anti-fan, and I apologize about that, just because for me, that's ruined the experience far more over this last decade. And that's why I especially harp on the Sentai purists, because those comments I first saw is like all the stuff I get, and I want to make that clear as my last thing. I have no problem if you like Sentai and you don't have any interest in Power Rangers, even if you hate Power Rangers. But what I have a problem with is the people that feel the need to constantly take pot shots and come on to Power Rangers videos where I'm discussing what might we see in the reboot. I'm like, who cares? You should just watch Go Juger. Like, why do that? Like, I hate Gotchard, and sure, I'll take pot shots at Hotaro all day long, even in conversations with random people on the street. But I don't go out of my way to go to videos of people that like Gotchard or clips of Gotchard and be like, Hotaro sucks, why are you even watching this? Go watch Go Juger. So that stuff has worn on me. So I don't mind if you like Sentai, but I do mind if you're acting like a closed-minded elitist and going after other people for just talking about Power Rangers. It's like, we get it. You want to pretend you weren't born in Pawnee and you lived in Eagleton the whole time. So that's my piece. Sorry for the rant. I hope that cleared things up. Probably will still have some angry people in the comments, but I just wanted to get all that off my chest. But if you're still sticking around for the channel, look forward to this week's episode reviews tomorrow, starting with the Tojima Wants to Become a Kamen Rider episode 3, because that has been great. Thank you for those of listening, and thank you for those of you that give me a chance. Anyways, until next time, Dawson Rider, signing out.